What's up, guys? Wanted to put a little video for you guys together. Had a lot of questions about the wall tents. I know we've kind of put in little videos here of setting it up and showing you kind of the inside and whatnot, but we wanted to kind of give you a full tour. Lots of people asking about it, so follow along. So for the fly, we wanted to have a little bit of gap, obviously, from the actual tent. So we've put up together two A-frames, one like you can see here on the front, exact same thing on the back. Big cross beam that's 26, 27 feet long off the middle there, and then off the sides here, we can walk down here and I'll show you. Kind of did something similar. So, yeah, 26-foot beams off the top, and then three support poles down the side. So you can see here there's a good little gap between the fly and the tent. So any type of rain, stuff like that, that's just going to roll right off the side. So one, it's not getting on the tent. Two, it's also not getting on our deck here. So nothing's pooling up, which is great. So been super successful so far. We've had some pretty good rainstorms, and everything's been pretty dry for the most part. Obviously, you're in a tent, you're outside for 6-7 months at a time, so you're gonna get a little moisture at times, but for the most part, it's been fantastic. So one of the things that we got asked a lot about, and I posted a video on my Instagram last year when we built it, but was the actual deck and the foundation that the tent sits on. So our original plans, we were gonna build a bit of a bunkhouse, a permanent structure. And we ended up going with an alternate route, which was the wall tent. But we wanted to have the deck in place so that one day, if we did want to build that permanent structure, we could just build it on top. So the tent is 14 by 20. Our deck is 16 by 21. Reasons for those dimensions: one, it was a little bit bigger than the tent. Two, it just worked out nicely for lumber measurements. So we built them on these cement cylinders. They're 4, maybe 5 feet into the ground. And then that just gave us our level base. So that's what it's all built on. There is insulation underneath on top of this, or sorry, underneath this built in, and then there's a vapor barrier as well so that no moisture can get either in or out from the top or bottom. And then for us, for our tent, we have this vinyl flooring. Kind of a cool little, looks like hardwood, but it's 100% waterproof too. So there's no water getting down. And then with the vapor barrier, there's no water getting up. So things are nice and dry in there. So in terms of the A-frame, these are all logs that we actually cut here on the property ourselves. So cut them, took the bark off, let them dry it out, and then obviously we're trying to make them as straight as possible and just did our measurements. They're probably about 3 feet in the ground here, and then they're also bolted in to the deck. So these things are rock solid. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. So also, the last thing that we get asked a lot about is what the hell does this place actually look like inside? Like I said out there, the original vision was a bunkhouse, right? Couple bunk beds, maybe a queen bed, somewhere we could sleep our buddies, or come out here as a couple and just enjoy it. So this is the inside here. Kind of did a hybrid of, it's the perfect place for Rach and I is just to come out as a couple, but it also works well if you have buddies or another couple. Reason being, we have one queen bed here, that one stays permanently, and then we also have the couches here. So big couch here, people slept on here, roll a sleeping bag out, super easy. Ari's obviously occupying it now, and then we have this here, which actually folds out into a hide-a-bed. So lots of places to sleep, and I mean, if you did have that many guys here, you could throw a cot up or whatever and make it work. The other thing that we were saying is we set this up in usually call it early May, and it stays out here till probably the end of October. So we get some really cold nights here. That's why we got the wood burning stove here. I know in some of our previous videos you've seen us cooking on here and whatnot. This thing heats this tent up like crazy. We actually did a review on this stove. It's the Camp Chef cylinder one from Cabela's and Bass Pro. It was like $320, something like that, and it's been great for us. So reason being, we don't have the the chimney in right now as we're just about to take off. So we put it out just so that no water and rain can get down through the chimney. But
Learned that the hard way.
Yeah, we've learned that the hard way for sure. So other thing that we've got to ask is like, do you even have power out there? What the hell are you guys doing? We do have power, so we have a couple permanent trailers on the property as well, and they have power built to them. So we've just ran extension cords all the way through, as you can see. So in the summer months here, July, August, it can get to like 34, 35 degrees in the day. So it's smoking hot. So we set the fan up, which is nice. Another great thing for air circulation with this tent is it's got 3 windows. So one on each side really helps with the airflow. And then there's also a window off the back here. So that was one of the really cool things that John and the team at Alberta Tent and Awning had to offer is you could completely customize your tent. Whether you want 2 windows on each side, 1 window on the back, whatever it is you want, they could do it for you. So this was the design that we want, and then obviously with the door being open like that too, it's just been super nice. I think we want to get maybe a screen protector or something like that just for the bugs, but for the most part, haven't had too many bugs in here, so it's been a good setup for us. And then finally, we've obviously just done a little bit of landscaping around here. Rach has definitely done the majority of it. This area was covered in juniper bushes, which is just one super ugly and just quite uncomfortable and very prickly to walk around in. So did some landscaping, cleared out some tiny little trees, and gave ourselves a little bit of a view of you kind of see the lake through there. I'm sure you can't see it on the camera, but strung up some lights, which is super nice at night.
Cleared out all this.
Yeah, so then we've cleared ourselves a little path here and a little bit of an area here for put up a fire pit here, and it's just kind of really nice and quiet out here. There's not a whole lot of noise or foot traffic by any means. Actually 0 foot traffic, which is why we love it out here. But you can see the lake through the trees. Again, I don't know if you can see it through the camera, but at night it's a pretty sweet spot to have a fire and unwind and have a cold beer, and you can look at the tent and all lit up and with the lights. So yeah, it's a nice spot to have it at night for sure. Other thing we got asked is, do we keep it up year round? Last year we made the mistake of keeping it up year round. Big mistake was that we couldn't get out here enough during the winter and during the months where they got a lot of snow to actually check on it. We also didn't have the fly completely finalized, so we didn't have the front A-frame. So the fly was basically just sitting on top of the tent. I think we've showed it in some other videos, but over those couple months where we couldn't get out here, they got so much snow, the snow just piled up on top of the tent, crashed in, where a bunch of the frames from the tent actually ended up breaking and whatnot, and it was just kind of a mess. We had furniture in there, they got super wet and moldy, and so this year we're going to take it down. We've got a couple sea cans to put the couches and the beds and all that stuff in, which will be great. But again, huge shout out to the guys at Alberta Tent and Awning for hooking us up with a new frame. The turnaround time was great. This frame even looks a little bit more sturdier, so we're going to take it down for the winter. The other thing that we found last year was we actually ended up getting a couple mice. Nothing insane, but a few of the pillows and couch cushions were kind of chewed on, and some fluff and stuff was taken out, and some mouse droppings throughout it, which we obviously want to avoid. When we're out here for the summer, though, we've actually been pretty lucky, pretty fortunate with critters and squirrels and mice like that. Obviously, you get the odd one in. Anytime you're doing any camping, it's pretty hard to avoid it. But for having a tent just set up here for as long as we do, we've been pretty fortunate. Other thing that we do is we spray this thing called Last Defense, which you can get from Canadian Tire. I can show you here, but we'll spray this just along the base of the tent.
Anywhere they could get in.
Yeah, and anywhere that they can get in, and really what that's for is for your ants and just little insects and stuff like that. I don't know what it is, but it's a little barrier that I think is probably poisonous to them or whatever. But as soon as they try and walk through it, they basically turn around and go out. So, so what's that?
They die.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's worked really really well for us. I was kind of a little bit hesitant about it, but we did it for an entire summer last year, and
Safe for dogs.
yeah, safe for dogs, which is great. But we did it for an entire summer last year and didn't have really any insects at all for the entire summer. So, and we've been doing it all this summer too, and we've been pretty lucky. And we've been gone for 5-6 weeks at a time and come back to the tent and it's just as clean as we left it. So, been super lucky like that. Knock on wood, but yeah, it's been another good year in the wall tent. Anyways, thanks for following along, guys. If you got any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, either in the comments below or shoot either myself or Rachel a note on Instagram. But for the most part, our 14 by 20 wall tent has been awesome for these last 2 years. Super excited to just be able to keep adding pieces to it, and it's worked out great for Rach and I, and also for my brother Ty and Brooke. So the four of us have had a lot of fun nights in here, and it's going to be we're excited to just keep building on it. So, yeah, thanks for watching.